Convectional rainfall. In regions closer to the equator, the rate of evaporation is very high. As the sun heats the ground, the air above it gets heated and starts rising in the form of convection currents. As air rises, it expands and cools. The cooling causes condensation, which results in heavy downpour. This rain is accompanied by thunder and lightning, and since it mostly occurs around 4 p.m., it is often called the 4 o'clock showers. Due to the hot weather in Costa Rica, the country experiences heavy convectional rainfall. Convectional rainfall is also experienced in Europe during the summer season. Cyclonic rainfall. Cyclonic rainfall is caused when warm and cold air masses meet at a front. As cold air is denser, it remains close to the ground, while the warm air rises above it. As it rises, it expands and cools, resulting in rainfall. Cyclonic rainfall mostly occurs in temperate and tropical regions. In the tropics, the trade winds blowing towards the equator meet at the Intertropical Convergence Zone, ITCZ. The air is forced to rise, and along with strong convection currents, it forms the heavy afternoon thunderstorms associated with the equatorial climate. Monsoon. The word monsoon is derived from the Arabic word mausim, which means season. The Arabs used the term to describe the seasonal winds of the Arabian Sea. The term monsoon is now used for a seasonal change in the direction of the prevailing or strongest winds of a region. These winds change the direction in which they blow, from the sea to land and vice versa. Monsoons cause both dry and wet seasons throughout much of the tropics. The monsoons are most often associated with the Indian Ocean and determine the climate of most of India and Southeast Asia. Monsoons always blow from cold to warm regions. When the sun shines directly over the Tropic of Cancer, or 23.5 degrees north, Central Asia experiences summer. The air above the land gets heated, rises, and creates a low-pressure region. Due to the differential rate of heating of the land and water, the air above the surrounding water bodies, the seas and the oceans, is relatively cooler and creates a high-pressure region over them. This causes air to move from high-pressure regions to low-pressure regions, that is, from the sea to land. The winds blowing over the sea towards land absorb moisture from the water bodies and bring rainfall to the land. These winds are called summer monsoons. They are also called the southwest monsoons. The summer monsoons arrive over the Indian subcontinent in June and retreat by October. They bring heavy downpours accompanied by thunder and lightning. Owing to the peninsular shape of India, the southwest monsoon winds are divided into two branches, the Arabian Sea branch and the Bay of Bengal branch. The Arabian Sea branch brings rain to Kerala. It is the first state in India to receive the monsoon showers in the first week of June. The Arabian Sea branch is stronger and causes heavy rainfall on the western sides of the Western Ghats. The Arabian Sea branch, after spending its moisture on the Western Ghats, advances over the Deccan Plateau, where the interiors of the southern peninsula hardly receive 50 to 60 centimeters of rainfall during the rainy season. Meanwhile, the Bay of Bengal branch travels over the waters of the Bay of Bengal, collecting moisture on its way. The heavy moisture-laden winds bring heavy rainfall to northeastern India. Then the monsoons are forced to take a turn towards the northwest along the curve of the Himalayas, causing rainfall over the northern plains. The Himalayas blocked the Bay of Bengal branch from crossing over to China. By the time the monsoons reach northwestern India, the moisture has been spent and the winds become dry. As a result, this part of the country receives scanty rainfall. When the sun shines directly over the Tropic of Capricorn, or 23.5 degrees south, Central Asia experiences winter. The air above the land is cold and heavy, and a high-pressure region is created over land. Meanwhile, the air above the surrounding water bodies is relatively warmer and creates regions of low pressure over them. As a result of the change in the positions of high-pressure and low-pressure regions, the winds change direction and start blowing from the land to the sea. Such winds are called winter monsoons or retreating monsoons. The dry winter monsoons blow from the northeast and are also called the northeast monsoons. They last from November until February. These winds, being cool and dry offshore winds, do not bring rainfall unless they cross water bodies before hitting land. They bring rainfall to some parts of Tamil Nadu after picking up moisture from the Bay of Bengal. Relief or orographic rainfall. Sometimes moisture-bearing winds are forced to rise because of the presence of a physical barrier, such as a mountain. Such winds expand and cool as they rise up the slope of the mountain or plateau, and on further cooling form clouds. When saturated, these clouds give rain. This rain is called relief rain because it is caused by the relief feature coming in the way of the wind. The side of the relief feature that faces the moisture-bearing winds is called the windward side. This is the side that receives most of the rainfall. The other or opposite side is called the leeward side, which receives very little rainfall as the winds descend and get warm. This leeward side is also often called the rain shadow region. In India, the southwest monsoon winds are forced to rise along the windward side of the Western Ghats. So, the regions along the west coast of India receive heavy rainfall. The Deccan Plateau lies in the rain shadow or leeward side of the Western Ghats and is therefore a dry area.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next episode.